Hello and welcome back to another episode of playing MotoGP 21 online. And I'm going to do, as I always do, just show off the best bits of some 3-lap races. But first of all, just want to apologise for not uploading too frequently lately. My upload schedule is very inconsistent at the best of times, but lately it's been quite poor. So I'm going to try and work on that, but I'm back at university, so that is the main reason why it's been a bit delayed. So we're here for the first race then at Motegi, and I've not played the game for a few days, so this could go very, very badly. Not going to lie, but waiting for the lights to go out here then at Motegi. Lights out and away we go. At least it's not Austria or Chang or Mugello. I had to lift a little bit because of that Ducati coming across. The brake nice and early for the first corner. There's been some stoppies. Wow, people broke even earlier than me somehow. I've somehow made it through that first corner. I have no idea how I've done that. Almost on the grass. Oh, a bit of contact with the Idemitsu rider. I thought I was going to crash, but actually managed to stay on the bike. So, you know what? That's a win for me, and I've gone in way too hot here, haven't I? A little bit, actually, but not too bad, considering it's just a random online lobby. So it's been a decent start, up to 3rd place. We haven't been taken out at the first corner. That's usually a bit of a win when it comes to online. But I'm just trying to find my braking zones on the GP bikes, honestly, because the last time I played was, of course, with career mode, Moto 2. I've not actually played the game properly since that last video. So, yeah, I'm going to be a little bit rusty, but Doc Monster's making a lot of mistakes. He's gone onto the grass, down he goes, up into 2nd position. We've now got Made 14 in front of us. And if I can try and pick up the pace a little bit, we should catch right up to him. But I've got to watch out. There is somebody only about 1.5 seconds behind, and they could have been caught up in some melee, so they might not actually be that slow. And we've immediately caught up to this guy, and I've crashed. He absolutely parked it, and I put the brake on more just to not hit him, and I just lost the front. So down to 5th place, although I think it's going to be 4th in a second. We should be able to get past this Idemitsu rider on the brakes. Yes, we do, although I've got it a little bit wide once again. But no, we've managed to keep it. So up to 4th place then. Hopefully we can actually try and make the gap back up to some of these riders in front, because that Baba Yaga was actually right behind me. Again, I've ridden on the grass. I need to stop doing that. I did that in my last video as well, when I was looking at the scoreboard on the right side, and I've gone off again. I'm really struggling to find the brakes at the minute. I don't know if they've updated it again since the last patch, because of course they had an update that brought out Moto E not too long ago, a few days back now. And it does make me wonder, have they changed the physics again? Because the brakes do feel very, very weak. And I thought they'd made them a lot better in the previous updates. So I don't know whether they've sort of gone back on that a bit. But Baba Yaga fell off, so we're now up into 3rd place. But it's 3.3 to the guy ahead, so yeah, probably not going to catch him up. Especially not if I'm going in this hot. Yep, into the gravel again. Great. That Made 14 guy is actually still in the lead of the race, so if I keep this clean, I actually might be able to catch them, you know. Because I've just took a big chunk of time out of them, and if that guy continues to lead, if he rides like he did in the first lap, I could be a fair few seconds a lap faster than him, so you know what, I'm going to go for this. I think the win is still on here. So I've actually just set a fastest lap of the race, and that was the lap I went through the gravel, yes. Oh, but the guy for the lead has crashed, Made 14's crashed, I've got in hot wide again. But that could be it, because now that he's lost the lead, he's not going to be slowing the pace down, so this guy in front will probably go at a bit of a better speed. So we are catching him, but just not enough. We're still 2.6 seconds behind, which we've taken a fair chunk out of him actually on this lap, but it's not going to be enough unless he makes a huge mistake. So at the last quarter then, 2.2 seconds, so we took a few more attempts out of him, but he has won the race. He's crashed, he's got over the line, I guess, in celebration. But 2nd position, actually not terrible considering how poor I rode in that race. You know, I'll take that. I'll take that, because I didn't really deserve a top position, so yeah, not too bad. Well, my fastest lap got absolutely smoked by the rider behind me, 43.6, but I did still run wide at the first corner, so it wasn't ideal. But hopefully I should be a bit more on it again in the next race, and I should be hitting my braking zones a bit better. So here we are then for this race at Qatar. And I think I'm on the front row of the grid this time. Yes, I actually am playing as Vinales, of course. Hopefully we have a pretty good one here, but waiting for the lights to go out. Lights out and away we go. Now I'm thinking I should be able to get a bit better on the brakes in this race, because I'll get a bit more used to it. But I think they have tweaked the physics slightly on the brakes once again. But into the first corner, whoa! Where was that guy going? His bike absolutely launched through there. Unbelievable. We've got someone going around the outside. That was close. Oh, we've had contact. He's gone down, although he went down a long time after the contact, so not particularly sure what happened there. I think he sort of just came around my outside and He left me enough room, I guess, but just not enough. I needed more room than that, but he left me plenty of racing room. I've gone a little bit hot here again. You can see the rider in front has as well. Although this rider on the Ducati's got the inside, so fair play to him. So now down into third place. But as you can see, everybody's struggling on the brakes. So I think Milestone have definitely changed this again, which isn't ideal, to be honest. Especially when they don't even tell us. If they told us that they did these things, it wouldn't... Well, it would still be quite annoying, but it wouldn't be as annoying, because at least you know to expect it. But I've jumped on the game. I can't brake, neither can anybody else, and I've spoke to other people between the last race and this one on Discord quickly, like just by text, and they seem to agree that the braking has changed. So I'm not sure what's happened. The physics have been updated yet again, which is just so bizarre. It's very difficult to actually get used to this game, and it's very... it's got to be very anti-user friendly, especially for newer players, because if you're trying to get into the MotoGP games and every time you make progress with the physics, they just change them again. That's not great. So if they could stop changing the physics, that would be really ideal. But enough about that. What we need to do is catch up to the rider in front. But honestly, these two in front are absolutely leaving me in the dust. I've not quite got the pace, unfortunately. Yeah, they've already got a second over me. Qatar's not my best track, but it's not one that I'm too bad at, usually. On this game, I've struggled with it a lot more than on 19 or 20, but yeah, overall, it's never been a bogey track of mine. Well, it has been in the past, but as recent years, it's not been a particularly bogey track or anything, but we've gone wide once again. So we're just starting the final lap of the race. The two in front are in the 1 minute 50s, and currently I was in the 1 minute 52s on the previous lap, so my times actually aren't terrible. Theirs are just very good, so that's why they completely left me, because you can see I've got a good 5 seconds, well, actually 7 seconds now, it was 5 last time I checked, to the rider behind, so a very lonely race for me. I've just got to hope that something cracks off between these two leaders. Oh, I thought there was going to be a crash there. They made minor contact into this right-hander. The Ducati's through though, now he's up into the lead of the race. So all towards the line then, it's going to be third place. Not a bad fought race for myself there, aside from the first lap. Didn't make too many mistakes, but the two in front were just very, very fast. Although I think I did just sneak into the 1 minute 51s on the final lap, so that's not too bad for me. So then, in the end, 3.4 seconds off the leader, but only just over 2 seconds behind the guy in front, so actually not too bad, considering they had pretty decent pace compared to me. So here we are then at the Red Bull Ring. It was bound to happen eventually. This Chang or Mugello is bound to come up at some point. I'm at the back of the grid, which is probably not a bad thing for this track. So waiting for the lights to go out here. The lights out, away we go. Someone hasn't gone off the line, but you know what? I'm just going to take it nice and steady down towards the first corner. Not even properly go full gas, because there's probably going to be a huge accident. That yet you can see there's been a crash. Quite a few riders down. Most people have made it through, in fact. Well, I'm up to 7th place. I started 19th on the grid, I believe. So that is a good 12 people I've passed at that first corner by just taking it nice and steady and not going in too hot. Hopefully I don't get wiped out of this corner, because that happens a lot. I've been punted wide, but I've not been took out. There's been a crash there. In fact, actually, to be honest, the fact that I got punted probably helped me, because I avoided a crash. We're now up to 3rd position. Now that is what I call a good start. We've got Christian 25. Now I'm not sure if that's the real one or if that's just a fake guy. I've been punted again though. Oh, just avoiding that guy. And this guy on the Repsol Honda wants to hit me again. I'm sure he's hit me about 3 times in this race so far. And we've just absolutely blasted past him again. He needs to try and work on his ability a bit there. I was going to say, I'm not sure if the guy that's leading is actually the real Christian, but it looks like it is, because he is clearing off. We're at the inside of the Red Bull KTM, and he's back up the inside of me now, and he's bashed me in. Oh, he's taken me out. Great. Absolutely fantastic. Well, to be honest, not too bad, because obviously I gained a lot of positions right at the start. I'm trying to get off the racing line. There's now a bike right in my way. Yeah, sorry for cutting back on the racing line, but when there's a bike off the racing line, I kind of had to go on it to avoid it. So I did take out that Valentino Rossi player. We've been taken out twice now, after such a good start as well. Frustrating, but I know it's one of those things where it's not like the win has gone, gone away, because I'm not going to beat an esports rider in a 1v1. So I'm not too disappointed. We're down to 15th. We're 21 seconds behind, considering we were about 2 seconds behind it before. That's been a very poor sector. We still made up positions on the first lap, effectively. Still made up 4 places, so it's not the end of the world. But it's still not great. So what we got then, 1.4 seconds to the rider in front. There will be some more crashes, as you can see. Oh, wow, that bike is high up in the air. There's bikes all over. How many people are down here? I'm sure that's the guy that took me out. We're now back up into 11th, so we've just gone from 15th back up to 11th place again. So 4 riders down at that corner. And that's the thing about Austria. If you don't get caught up in the crashes, you'll get a good result, because there's so many of them. You can see there's more people down at turn 4 here. That's going to put me back up. It stopped riding into the side of me. Back up into 9th place. So there's only actually a couple of people down in that corner. I thought there was about 4 again. He's been dive bombing up the inside, but he's run wide because of it. We've just got to be careful, because this rider doesn't seem to care about others. No, he does not, because now he's going for the move on the other guy. And there is a certain extent where that's not quite the right thing to do. So we've gone past the Pramac by just taking a bit of a better line. And now we've got the run on the Idemitsu again. However, I think it's just going to be wise to brake early, let him absolutely barrel it into the corner. He's gone super, super wide. We'll cut back underneath him, probably. We do, sort of, but he used the track limits to his advantage. Now he's braking too much through the corner. I don't know what this guy's doing, but we've got alongside him. Here we go, up towards the line. We're on the Ducati. We should out-drag him, although it's balanced performance, so probably not really. He's tried to out-brake me into the first corner. This is probably going to go badly for him. And yes, it did indeed. So down he goes. Back up into 7th place. And it's worth noting we're 1.2 seconds behind the rider we were behind at this point on the previous lap. So Berlin and Andres also carved their way through all their chaos. Number 31, I wonder if they're using the Garrett Gerloff custom rider mod or something like that. We've closed up a lot here through this left hand. You can see Christian does a 1:23. That's a pretty ridiculous time around this track, but we've got such a good run. Actually, someone's beat him though, 1:22. Here we go, side by side, down towards the penultimate turn. Are we going to make this pass? He outbrakes me a bit. I mean, if he can keep this, that's fair. He's run a little bit wide. I'm going to try and get on the power. He's gone right to the edge of the curb, maybe a little bit onto the green, but, you know, nothing too bad. Through the last corner, though, I'm going to get on the power as early as I can. Carry the speed through. There we go. Up the inside, up into 6th place. Nice little battle with that rider there. Good, clean rider. But after all that on the first lap, 6th place, you know what, I'll take it. A poor starting position, a great start, and then absolutely rammed off by some other players. I'm glad we actually finally got a chaotic race though, because up until this point they weren't too eventful, which is a shame, because it's always good when you get eventful online races. But that one was pretty good, but hopefully we'll get a little bit of a better finishing position in the next one. Well, I've got to say, that's a fantastic helmet for that rider there on pole position. But we're here at Jerez anyway, playing as Alex Rins, waiting for the lights to go out. Lights out and away we go. This is our best chance at a decent result, to be honest, because starting on the front row means we should avoid some of the chaos. So I brake for the first corner. We've been dive bombed by a Rossi. That Rossi's absolutely sent it up the inside. We've been hit by KTM again. And no, we've just kind of nerfed that Maverick onto the gravel. I apologise for that, but I was just trying not to crash, because if I had lean angle and hit him, I would have gone down. But if I hit him upright, we both stay up. So that's the best solution. I've just overtook that rider on the green, so I'll let him back through. That was quite a bad mistake there. Scary baby goes through. We've got DNA Dewa in the lead. I don't know if that would be Dewa or Deva, depending on where they're from, of course. Oh, again, I've kind of nerfed that Vinales, but I was getting sandwiched between them. This has been an aggressive race so far. We're down to 4th place, so actually we've gone backwards off the start without being taken out, which is not too usual. Oh, okay, well, that guy definitely made sure that he took him out, so that's given us 2 free positions there. I'm not really sure why he did that. That looked pretty deliberate to me. You don't do that by accident. Because if you overshoot, you don't make it that far around the corner. He let his brakes off mid-corner there. But we're up into 2nd place, right behind the leader now, but the leader is the guy that won at Qatar, so the very, very fast rider. So it's imperative that we try and get past him if he makes any kind of mistake, because otherwise I think he'll clear off. Jerez, not a track that I'm really bad at, but I'm not great at the high speed stuff like this bit at the end of the lap. Although as I say that, I took it better than the guy in front of me. We brake for the final turn, closing up to the back of him. I got it a little bit wide there, but nothing too bad. Through Hoy Lorenzo corner then. He got out that corner well. I'm in traction control 5, that's probably why I thought I was in 4, but I was in fact in 5, so it was probably cutting the revs a little bit more than I liked. Through turn 1 then, on the power, there you go, a bit more of a slide from the rear end. I do like the rear to move about a little bit on the exit of the corners. Frame rate stuttering a little bit. I have no idea what it is about Jerez and online on these games. The game just stutters. And I'm not even going to like say it to my computer or anything, because I don't even use the same computer I used to on MotoGP 20. So I don't see how it's possible. We've actually been left by this guy through because of that. I was kind of couldn't ride well, and he's put a big gap into me, because before that I'd actually closed right up to the back of him. We were sizing up and moved, but the lag definitely put me off a bit. And he's lost the front through the last corner, so went out up into the lead. So he definitely was pushing on to try and get away from me, which it's always a nice feeling when someone has to push over the limit to get away from you. It's given us a 4-second lead, 1 minute 37.0, so not a fantastic lap, honestly. I'm sure that's something Dylan would laugh at if he saw that on the leaderboard. So we break for turn 2 then. We've just got to bring this one on home, and this should be our first win of the lobby. Absolutely fantastic. The guy behind, well, he's pretty far behind. He's a 36.4, but of course he's way too far behind, so we don't have to worry about him at all. So out of the final turn then, coming up towards the line, we finally got our first win in this lobby, and that was a fun race. I really felt comfortable with the bike, and that's got to be the first time I have felt that all session, because I wasn't really running wide into many corners. The bike actually just felt really, really nice. So only winning by 2.6 in the end, actually, because I took it fairly easy on the final lap. You can see I didn't actually even improve over that 37. There was no point pushing, risking a crash when I had a nice healthy lead. The guy in second place actually got the fastest lap, so he definitely had more pace than me. He just obviously made a mistake in the final turn, and that's just it. You've got to stay on to win. So here we are then at Assen this time, so a proper rider circuit, starting 5th place on the grid as Brad Binder. So we've got another chance at a win here. We're waiting for the lights to go out then here at Assen. Lights out and away we go, and actually I let the clutch out pretty well there. I didn't get a jump start. I thought I actually might have slightly jumped it. That guy obviously lagged backwards and took a fair few people out, but that's put me straight up into 3rd place, so I'm not going to complain. 2 riders absolutely missing the braking zone for the first corner. Again, that probably was something to do with lag. And we've got Yago right in front of us once again, just like in the previous race. We've got Real Trap in 1st position. Can we try and make a pass on Yago here? Because he's probably my real worry, because I know he's got more pace than me at most circuits, if not all of them. I can probably run with him for a lap or so. But unless he makes a mistake, I'm not going to beat him. So I need to try and pass him, really, when there's someone in front of him where he can't quite go to his maximum pace. He looks like he's looking for a move, potentially. The front was skating a little bit through there for me. That guy goes onto the grass a little bit. He might have just lost the lead with that one, although he's actually kept it. So, you know what, fair play to the guy, because that would be quite hard to keep the lead after going onto the grass on the entry of the corner. Just checking the gap behind me is 2 seconds. So I can afford to sit back a bit, but honestly, these two are actually pulling away from me anyway, so I do need to pick up the pace a little bit. Oh, that's going to be tight through the high-speed stuff, side by side. Well, they both pulled that off, so fair play. You know what, something I was going to say at the end of the previous race, actually, considering this lobby is actually called clean, most of the time that's not what you get, but majority of the players in this lobby have actually been fantastic, been very fast and very clean. It's just been a couple. Obviously, the one race, really, the chaos when I started near the back, really was what showed some of the riders off to be not too good. But if you get away at the front, this lobby's actually been pretty clean, actually. Once again, they're going for it in this section of the track. They're both really doing a good job here of avoiding collisions. I've just made a huge mistake because I was too busy looking at them. But I've got a pretty safe 3rd place now, because I thought the guy behind me was catching me, but I've pulled a good second on him in the rest of this lap. Chatham has won in their fair play, because I absolutely messed up the chicane. That was terrible. 1 minute 31.9 there. But of course, there was a slight corner cut, so probably should have been in the 32s. We've still got a fairly big lead behind 2 seconds. We should be alright, but these two are really battling. We're not going to catch those two up, because they're now 2 seconds in front of me. But if something happens, we could be there to pick up the pieces. It wouldn't be the first time that's happened online. So through the final chicane then, nothing actually kicked off between the two in front, so it is going to be 3rd place. Not too bad overall, but their pace was really, really strong. Especially considering they were battling basically the whole time. I mean, Yago was basically trying to pass at every corner, and they were still leaving me in the dust without really having to try, by the looks of it. So yeah, it was a really, really strong pace from those two. Yeah, you can see a low 31 for the winner, 30.9 for Yago, so yeah, they definitely had the pace over me. But heading into this final race, hopefully we can try and round it off with another podium. So here we are then for the final race of the episode here at Aragon. Not a great track for me, but this does speed. There's been no Mugello. Waiting for the lights to go out here then. Lights out and away we go. So like I was saying, no Mugello and no Chang as well. So you know what, not a bad session overall. We did have to play the Red Bull Ring, but that's probably the the best of the three. Those two gone very wide at the first corner because of contact. We've been passed by Ducati actually. That guy that's been pretty fast throughout the lobby. I've lost the rear quite a lot there. I didn't quite get the heat into my tyre. By the looks of it, he was going for a move there. That was a risky place to try and pull a pass. Fortunately for those two, it worked out and there was no contact. But I think Jago's got this one won already, because if he hits the front right at the start of a race, he's absolutely gone. Usually his issue is he gets stuck behind somebody, and that slows him down slightly. The only difference, the only race where that wasn't the case was obviously Jerez, where we managed to actually run with him and pressure him into a mistake. Quite how I did that, I still don't really know, because he definitely is quicker than me. But he's gone a little bit wide here, the rider in front of us. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that because I wouldn't be able to, and I'd probably just offend people. So we'll say the Ducati rider, the number 69 Ducati rider, with a very, very long gamer tag. I didn't even realise you could have names that long on Steam, to be honest. But we've all three of us have gone wide because I was too busy looking at those two in front. Braked when they braked, and we've all gone wide. I think we probably all just followed the guy in the lead. He's gone onto the green a little bit here, so it seems like he's struggling. The Ducati's going for a move. I thought he was going to absolutely send it there. I thought we were going to have a Garrett Gerloff, Jonathan Ray situation into that corner, but not quite. So we've got 1.6 seconds then ahead of Radical. 0.4 to the rider on the Ducati in front of us. We are running away with the leaders this time. It's not quite as bad as last time, although he's run a little bit wide. So potentially I might be able to get past the Ducati rider, but I cannot see myself catching up to Jago. Oh, you're not going for that move, mate. Oh, yep, and that is exactly kind of what I expected to happen. There was no way he was ever going to get that one stopped. He was either going to run off the track or crash trying to keep it on. And unfortunately for him, he crashed. He ended up on the deck. But we only got half a second now to the leader. So we are in a better stead than we were in the last race. And if I can maybe muscle the bike around, I'm able to catch him. But Aragon is not a track I'm good at. I've always really struggled at it. So if we could get a win at Aragon, I would be quite happy with that, to be honest. But he's now put it up to about a second. So I don't really see that happening. Yeah, I've ran in so hot here. The bike was pushing the front so much into the backwards corkscrew. So starting the final lap of the race, then 1.5 seconds behind. So I think Jago's got this one in the bag. Unfortunately, we weren't able to close up to him on the second lap. You know what? I'll take another podium. We've had quite a few actually in this lobby. We did get a win as well. So overall, a pretty successful lobby. And I guess that's what happens when you don't really get taken out too many times. I think I only got took out in Austria, and that's it. Obviously, we got took out quite a few times in that one race, but that seems to have covered us for the rest of the session. Oh, I've gone in way too high for the chicane. I'm going to have to go across the track here. Hopefully I don't get a long lap for this. I think I've probably lost enough time. I got a trail limits warning, and I lost a lot of momentum. But fortunately I didn't get a penalty, so no worries there. I think actually, I don't know if I really gained time. I got further in front of the guy behind, I thought, but I didn't get closer to the rider in front, so the rider behind was just made a mistake. Here we go then, at the last corner, coming up towards the line. We are going to finish this lobby with a second position. Overall, a pretty decent session, to be honest, and quite a clean one at that. But I hope you guys did enjoy that set of races. I really actually enjoyed playing them for once. It wasn't an absolute mess online. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next one.